This just happened, and it's already dominating the conversation among Detroit fans. Jared Goff revealed why the Lions could have a massive advantage against the Cincinnati Bengals this Week 5, and the detail he revealed could truly change the course of the season. And look, it's not just about tactics or game plan. We're talking about a factor that directly impacts the physical and mental wear and tear of an NFL team. But before explaining how this situation could become the Lions' greatest asset against a weakened Bengals dealing with serious problems, please leave a like on the video, as it would greatly help the channel continue to bring you all the latest updates on the Detroit Lions firsthand. What Goff made clear is that the NFL schedule can be brutal, and this very logistical detail could give the Lions an advantage this week. He noted that in Week 3, Detroit faced the Baltimore Ravens in a very tough Monday Night Football game and then had to face the Cleveland Browns with virtually no rest. Now, the tables are turned. The Bengals will be facing this strain, having suffered a humiliating 28-3 loss to the Denver Broncos and then having to face the entire return trip with little time to sleep, recover, and prepare to face the Lions. As Goff himself described in an interview, no matter how hard you try, the math is relentless. When you play on a Monday night and don't return until Tuesday morning, you always start behind your opponent. And if this would be a challenge for any team, in the Bengals' case, the situation is even more complicated because the squad already arrives for the game against the Lions quite worn out and dealing with a serious injury to quarterback Joe Burrow. This opens a huge opening for Detroit to exploit, because in addition to facing a physically tired and mentally shaken team, they will also have to deal with an offensive unit limited by the absence or physical impairment of their star player. For the Lions, this represents the perfect opportunity to pick up another win, maintain a high pace, and further cement the team's confidence. Goff emphasized that the hardest part of a short schedule isn't just tactical preparation, but also physical exhaustion, lack of sleep, and the need to train already exhausted. That's how they felt against Cleveland, and now it's the Bengals who will have to deal with that pressure. But it doesn't stop there. There's another detail that could give the Detroit Lions even more strength: Jared Goff's evolution in 2025. Those who follow him closely have noticed how he's moving better in the pocket, using more agility to extend plays and buy time in crucial moments. According to the quarterback himself, this evolution comes from years of off-season training, focusing on foot speed and the ability to escape pressure. Now, in a year where every extra second in the pocket can make a huge difference, the Lions arrive not only rested and prepared, but also with a more agile, confident QB, ready to exploit every weakness the Bengals defense has to offer. In other words, the combination of a schedule that includes Cincinnati, the evident physical fatigue, Burrow's delicate situation, and Goff's evolving game creates a scenario that could be a game changer for the Lions this week. What seemed like a minor detail in the schedule now turns into a golden opportunity for Detroit to continue its growth this season. But I want to hear from you. Will the Lions truly capitalize on this advantage and secure a crucial victory against the Bengals, or could the NFL's unpredictable nature change everything again? Leave your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like, because here you'll receive the latest Lions news firsthand.
The Detroit Lions have just become the center of a bombshell that's already shocking fans. Matthew Stafford, 4 years after being traded by Dan Campbell's management, is reportedly trying to reconnect with the Detroit franchise. That's right, the quarterback who marked more than a decade of Lions history and left in one of the most controversial decisions of the Campbell era is now back in the spotlight. And this story isn't just about nostalgia or memories of the past. There's much more at stake here. And if Stafford truly seeks this rapprochement, the implications could completely change how Detroit views its future. Before delving into the most surprising details of this news and explaining why this move could be a game changer, please like the video below. Sources close to the NFL have confirmed that Stafford has indeed shown interest in rebuilding his relationship with the Lions, precisely at a time when he's experiencing a renaissance with the Rams. Today, at 37, Stafford appears rejuvenated, playing at an MVP caliber level, with over 1,100 yards in passing in the first 4 weeks of the season, 8 touchdowns, and a pass completion rate of nearly 68%. But the most important detail is the context. While many still remember the bittersweet way his time in Detroit ended, Stafford has been making statements that, to some insiders, sound like an attempt to reconnect with the team that drafted him in 2009. He makes no secret of the fact that, despite his flashes of brilliance on Thanksgiving, his time in Detroit was marked by inconsequential finishes to the season, something he now understands as a reflection of the team's lack of competitiveness at the time. And that's where the situation takes on enormous emotional weight, because for Stafford, every victory today with the Rams also seems to be a way to prove what he could have achieved in Detroit if the organization had been more supportive. He's already won a Super Bowl, surpassed Kurt Warner in the Los Angeles franchise's touchdown rankings, and now aims not only for the MVP award, but also for a definitive place among the greatest quarterbacks of his generation. Even so, when discussing Thanksgiving, he made a point of remembering that for the Lions, many games after that date simply didn't matter because the team was already out of contention. This remark hit like a bombshell because, while it sounds like a critique of the past, it also seems like a call for a different future, perhaps even with the shadow of a reconciliation. Now, the big question is, could Matthew Stafford really return to Detroit in some role, whether as a player in the final chapter of his career or even in the future in another role connected to the franchise? And more, would Detroit fans welcome back the quarterback who left, won elsewhere, and only now shows this desire for a reunion? This news, which began as a mere podcast appearance, has already become a hot topic on every forum and social media platform. The contrast is stark. On one side, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are building a young, competitive team. On the other, Stafford, who seems unwilling to end his story with the Lions as just a chapter of frustration. This puts Detroit at an emotional and sporting crossroads that no one expected in the middle of the season. Now, I want to hear your opinion. Would you like to see Matthew Stafford try to rewrite his story with the Lions, or do you think this is a book that's already closed and shouldn't be reopened? Leave your comment below, because this is a heated debate. And don't forget, if this content resonated with you, please like it, because it shows that you want to see even more breaking news and analysis about the Lions here on the channel.
Thank you to all Detroit Lions fans who are subscribed here on the channel. Your support contributes to this work continuing, which is always updating fans with the latest Detroit Lions news firsthand. I ask that you share the channel news in all groups and activate your notification so you don't miss any new video. Remember, our focus is to always keep you as well informed as possible, and your help strengthens our work. Share the news a lot. Until the next update, let's go Detroit!